time I call you up on the phone, you never pick up 'cause you ain't home. You got me tied up, stitched up and sewn. I always knew you was a rolling stone.
What's up, everybody? This is Roctavia Rose with Rock News UK, and I am here with the Outlaw Orchestra. I'm going to throw it over to you guys. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves to your international audience?
Hey, international kids. I'm Dave from the Outlaw Orchestra. I play the guitar and I sing and I play the bass at the same time because I'm multi-talented. But then we've just got Mega Pete here as well. And all he does is play pedal steel, lap steel, bass, vocals, banjo, flute. So, he's not busy. And then we're just missing Ryan, who plays drums, and drummers are a dime a dozen. So,
you guys see the drum set back there?
I saw the drum set.
What the hell?
Honestly, you lose one drummer, you get another in 2 minutes. But what you can't replace are banjo players, and actually you can replace guitar players. There's thousands of them out there. So really, Pete is the whole band, and me and Ryan just hang on to his shirt tails for dear life.
You got some rocking hair beard combo too. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's what we are with
power lives.
That's it. So that's what the Outlaw Orchestra is. It's a very small orchestra, but we're outlaws.
All right. That was one of the most fun intros I think I've had yet. This is going to be a good time. I feel like you guys have palled around with the darkness because I'm getting some Justin vibes.
We did. I once parked my car so close to Justin Hawkins' white Jaguar car. Actually, you call it a Jaguar, wouldn't you? I parked it so close, and can I swear?
Yeah, go ahead.
I shit you not. He's a very slim guy, and he's in a white suit with a pink scarf, and he looked great. And then he's trying to squeeze him to get into his car. So, excuse me, Justin, do you want me to move my car? And I swear to God, you know how he sings? And he went, no, that's okay, and flicked his hair and the scarf. And I went, he really does talk like that. And then he was the coolest guy. And then we were driving down the motorway, the Outlaw Orchestra in the darkness, and they're filming us, and we're filming them, and then we were posting it live on all social media. It's kind of cool. The Outlaw Orchestra in the darkness, ride again.
It is pretty cool. They're one of my favorite bands, so that's awesome.
They're super cool guys.
So to get into everything about the Outlaw Orchestra, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves? Let's go way back. Let's start at the beginning. Tell us each individually how you guys got into music, what made you pick up anything that you were passionate about music.
Pete.
I grew up in a musical household. My dad tunes pianos for a living. So there's music and instruments everywhere. Yeah, just all sorts of stuff lying around the house. And then I picked it up and just, went to university, studied music, did the whole thing, bounced around in bands. And then just got lost down a deep, dark wood. And fortunately, Dave came and rescued me and said, come and play banjo with us.
Really, is that it? You summed up your entire musical career in that, I reckon I counted about 27 seconds.
Pete, it was under 30 seconds.
It was under 30 seconds.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I'll try and get mine under 30 seconds. Seeing as you've done that, Pete. I two older brothers, everyone into music, everyone in the house into music, all my uncles into music. And there was a big Beatles influence in that my dad and his two brothers, that's three of them, they went to Germany in the early 60s and they played and lived with the Beatles and toured Germany with the Beatles. And my dad used to send home lots of Beatles lyrics and set lists. And my mum used to go, I'm not into those guys. What's this? Lyrics from the Beatles? And threw them all away.
What?
Big mistake. Dad came home from Germany with a 1961 Fender Stratocaster guitar, which is worth a lot of money. And he sold it to
Damn.
get an engagement ring. He sold it to get an engagement ring to marry my mum. And I said to him, that is the worst deal you ever did. And he said, I don't at the front of the stage.
Why did I choose something where I'm at the front of the stage? I don't know. I was a weird kid. Like, I was an only child. I was just kind of in my own world. I've never really liked the attention, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a weird kid.
I
think the reason why is because I started off with saxophone. That's my main instrument. I can play all four, which is difficult to have the armature to go from soprano to baritone.
Yeah.
And then we had a baby grand piano, so I would play piano by ear. So you like leave me in the room with the song, as long as it wasn't Rachmaninoff or anything insane. Like I would be able to pick it up, and play it start to finish when I was younger. I don't know if I could do that now, but and then I had always wanted to play the drums. I always wanted to be in a rock and roll band, but my mom was like, absolutely not. She wanted me to play the French horn. And I was like, absolutely not. So we kind of settled somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Like with the saxophone, I could still be kind of rock and roll.
Who did you hear that made you say, I like rock and roll? Who was it? What music? What
Who
band?
did I hear that made me say I like rock and roll? What was my first experience? I'd probably have to credit it to, I'd have to throw it back to Jim Henson and David Bowie with Labyrinth.
Yeah.
That was my introduction to Bowie. And I kind of just...
I think so too, yeah, for myself
from
as
there.
well.
Like I would listen to there's a soundtrack called Peter and the Wolf, and it introduces kids to the symphony, and I was already kind of into that because I was playing symphonic band, concert band at accelerated rate when I was a kid. And so I listened to a lot of classical, a lot of jazz and stuff like that. And so a lot of Carnival of the Animals and stuff like that was instilled in me early on, and ballet and pas de deux and Tchaikovsky and all the classics. And my absolute favorite was I would listen to Vivaldi and Mozart, and they were the rock stars of their time. And if you listen to that meter, you could tell, especially Vivaldi, it translates really well to metal.
Yes.
It actually is a weirder start than most musicians. It was classical music.
It is, yeah, I can see it. I mean, because I think at school, I don't know about you, Pete, but at school we had to just sit and listen to classical and analyse it. Then we do English country dancing, which is basically like a cult. And
I remember that. I didn't even get to how I played the drums.
No, you didn't.
I was being rebellious, so when I graduated college, I kind of I went to a highly accredited school, and I kind of did my last years out of my own pocket on my own. It was kind of just on my own completely. And once I did that, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a fucking drum set and just wail away on it. I'm self-taught in that too. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I was saying we met Pete Way. He was the bass player that passed away last year from the band UFO, the rock band UFO.
Yeah.
And I said I'd sort of shake his hand. And I don't really get starstruck, but I really wanted to go and shake his hand and just say to him, I was stood there on my bed, bouncing up and down, breaking the springs on the bed with a tennis racket, playing along to Doctor Doctor. And I said, I could have had a career if it wasn't for you. I could have done something useful with my life, but I listened to that. But then somebody said, what was your first love of rock music? It was actually Can't Buy Me Love by the Beatles. And Paul McCartney does a scream. It's either Paul or John Lennon does a scream at the end. And it was that one scream that I went, that's cool. If only they could expand on that and then maybe make the guitars a bit more distorted. You can see where I was going with it.
Yeah, I think my Beatles introduction, I feel like everybody has a Beatles introduction. And mine was Come Together. Love that song.
We play that on stage. We play that live.
Love that song.
Yeah, we love it. Pete plays a great pedal steel solo on it, and I play the bass on it. It's cool.
That's one of my most favorite songs, besides Paint It Black by the Stones.
which is a
Another
classic.
great one.
Yeah. So all the classic stuff, the good stuff, really.
Yeah. I absolutely love classic rock. My mom had a stupid vinyl collection, like, and this awesome turntable setup that I would just like sit cross-legged and stare at, and like watch her, like, you know, she would clean them and like,
Yeah, because you're not allowed to touch the
put
discs.
it on and like make sure the needle was just so, and like, don't scratch them, touch my records, don't touch my records, you know.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd and Frank Zappa, and
Yeah.
she would also do like a lot of like Dusty's R&B. Like, I absolutely love the Isley Brothers because of her. And a lot of Anita Baker and Aretha Franklin and Patti LaBelle, and
See what a great background in music. That's you haven't mentioned
I
anything.
eat music like pieces of cereal. Like I consume it. I have like it's my love, my passion. Like, seeing as how I played so many different instruments too, I came up playing a lot of jazz, like a lot of jazz music with the saxophone. So like, I mean, it's one of my great loves, I'd have to say, for sure.
Yeah. See, Pete and I were saying on a very, very long drive the other day, I said, are we getting close to coming up with any new songs maybe for I know we've just got an album out, but we're already thinking ahead. And I said, I'm not picking up a guitar or writing anything at the moment. We're just absorbing at the moment.
Yep.
And you watch movies and you hear little clips, and I was watching a movie the other night and I went, oh my God, stopped it, quickly recorded it, went, I've got that. And at this moment, we're just listening to everything. And then finally, all this crap in your head at about 2 o'clock in the morning, you pick up a guitar and you go, I've got a chord progression, I've got something.
Exactly. Okay, so like, I love that you touched on that. Like, that was one of my most favorite things too, watching so many movies and like all the great soundtracks. And sometimes even you could have like a crap movie, but if the soundtrack is good.
Definitely.
It's quite mad. I watched the other night that Steve Carell movie, The 40-Year-Old Virgin. I thought it was going to be completely shit. It's actually quite a funny movie.
It is.
And there was just one bit toward the end, and he's cycling on his bicycle, and there was this really sexy, sultry blues progression. And I went, oh, damn it, man, that's so good. I love it. And Pete came over, and then he ran into the other room, and he gets on my 1971 Wurlitzer, and he starts, play it again, and he goes, I've got the chords. So I went, okay, log it up there. We've got it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I just want to write a very sexy, soulful song. Something which, like apparently Motley Crue, their song Girls, Girls, Girls plays on the hour, every hour, in the Body Shop strip joint on Sunset Strip in Hollywood. I just want to write one song that I know somewhere in Paris, there's like a burlesque bar, and on the hour, every hour, for the end of time, they play an Outlaw Orchestra song.
Yeah, like my favorite stripper song is like classic rock wise is either Cherry Pie or Pour Some Sugar on Me.
And they're two classics. They're always in. I'm told every strip joint.
I'm told. not me.
When myself and my girlfriend Kathy first went to LA, to Hollywood, we met these crazy rocker dudes, and one of them said, okay, we're going to give you a tour this Saturday night of the underbelly of LA and every strip joint mentioned in Girls, Girls, Girls. Right, get in the car, let's go. And so we did this tour, and it was kind of pretty seedy, but we found one really, really cool burlesque club. It's called Jumbo's Clown Room. Jumbo's Clown Room. Apparently it's one of Mick Jagger's favourite places. The girls don't strip off, it's just kind of burlesque. Really small bar, really friendly, but it's every freak in Los Angeles is there. And it's just, you kind of go, the circus is like sat around the tables, everyone, there's bikers and midgets and there's all sorts, and it's just a fabulous place. And I run in there like I'm totally green, and I sit right up against the front, and this first girl comes out, my buddy goes, don't, Dave, don't, too late, I'm there up the front. And I got a wedge of notes, and he said, just be subtle, okay? And the first girl comes out, she crawls across the floor towards me. I just throw all the money in the air. and then you look around at your girlfriend, and she goes, no, that wasn't very subtle. You liked her, didn't you?
What about you, Pete?
Jumbo's Clown Room. Yeah, I love the place. In fact, the Dead Daisies use it on their song Mexico. Dead Daisies use it on their song Mexico. It's all filmed in Jumbo's Clown Room. It's a cool little place. A good rock and roll vibe.
What about you, Pete? What's your most wildest rock and roll memory? Got any out there for us?
Oh God, none I want to talk about.
That good, huh? Oh,
How
gotta
about sharing a bed with the drummer recently in a hotel room? And Ryan said to me, this hotel was so crap. Ryan goes to Pete and I. He says, look at all the shit on the windows. We went, oh my God. He goes, here's the best bit. It's on the inside. So Pete shared the bed with the drummer because they had given us two double beds to stay in.
Yeah, Ryan is not a good bedfellow. You think about topping and tailing, and then you think, no, I don't want my head anywhere near his feet.
Yeah.
And you top and top, and you just don't want to know.
No, it's all wrong.
It's so gaseous.
And I've got a buddy that's in a Queen's tribute in a Queen tribute band. They're called the Queens. And my buddy said to me, he said they flew out to a gig, played to a big crowd. And he said the hotel was the same. They gave us 2 double beds. And he plays Brian May, and he's got the wig and what have you. He said, and that night, Brian May shared a bed with Freddie Mercury. I said, did you? I said, you didn't keep the wig on. He goes, no, of course I didn't. But Freddie still had the moustache.
Oh my God.
See, what happens in hotel rooms isn't quite as glamorous as the books tell you.
Oh boy. That sounds like a good time either way. Oh yeah, I wanted to get to this. So there's kind of, obviously, if you have a banjo player in the band, there's going to be kind of a United States Southern kind of down-home feel to everything. What inspired that sound profile for your band?
Pete.
I think it was the kind of natural progression for you, Dave. I think you were playing a lot of Southern rock and you were coming at it from that angle. And I think I was coming more from the folk world.
Yeah, but the mad thing is Southern rock. I mean, if you have banjo in Southern rock, it's nothing more than a gimmick salute to your slightly redneck roots.
Yeah.
and kind of saying, oh, we're from down south kind of thing. This is my sister and my wife and my cousin all rolled into one. So having banjos, it was kind of like a little bit of it's kind of like a bit of a jokey thing. And in fact, we did write a song called Uncle Daddy. But anyway, so having banjo in a Southern rock band, because Southern rock is really one foot in hard rock and one foot in sort of, what could you call it? Not bluegrass, maybe.
Kind of like you got a little bit of blues in there.
Bit of blues and country.
Blues and country, some bluegrass like sprinkled on top, maybe.
Yeah, it just happened that when I met Pete, he just learned our set, and then he just shredded on banjo, and then he said, but that song, something you've not had before. I said, you play lap steel? And he said, yeah. And he played lap steel to one of our kind of more country songs, and just went, it should have always been written that way, Pete. And so Pete just, on the old songs that we had before Pete joined us, which was years and years ago, Pete just put his own flavour on them and just changed them completely. And it was like they were waiting for him.
That's quite poetic. I quite like that.
Aw, Pete.
That's all right, Pete.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I love you, man.
I'll turn on you in a minute, don't worry. Yeah.
All right. So I have to ask you, what's your most favorite song to play live and why?
Pete.
So many. I love playing Red Rag, which is on our new album, because it's a good pedal steel, quick, fast shredder. It's got some cool chords in it. It's kind of non-standard structure. It's not just A B A B A B. It's a bit more complex than that, and it just feels like it's got loads of flavour, and you get to use a bit of synth and a bit of the pedal steel, and the guitar line's awesome. But I think what goes down well quite often is a song of ours called "Send Some Whiskey Home," which is one of the older one of the ones from our first album. And it's just pure old. I mean, we just come off tour with a full-on rock band, Phil Campbell and Bastard Sons, and I was worried about putting "Send Some Whiskey" in the set because we were all thinking
it's so country.
It's so country, you know, with the pedal steel. Like, is everyone going to be a bit? Who the fuck are these guys? You know?
Because we're supporting what is a third of the rock band Motorhead.
Yeah.
I love UK crowds.
And you're looking at everyone in rock bands. They've all got their Motorhead t-shirts on, and I'm going, he's about to play a pedal steel in a minute, and we're going to go full Nashville country. Keith Urban's going to walk on in a minute, and we're going to do a duet, and it's just all wrong. And yet, I think the sentiment of the song, Pete, "Send Some Whiskey Home" and "My Dog a Bone," it kind of strikes a chord. Everyone likes a drink, and everyone loves their dog, so it kind of it crosses all those genres.
Yeah, and they love it. The rockers love the pedal steel, it turns out.
They do. Yeah, to be honest, when I think the other night when we were playing, that was the biggest stage we were playing on that tour. I get halfway through and I look at the set list and I breathe out, because although the songs are they seem simple, they've got complex structures and they're tricky, and for me it's a ton to remember. I talk between songs, as you can guess. And,
No.
and I'm trying to think of what I'm going to say next, and remember the lyrics, and remember the song, and I think we get through some of the songs, and I just breathe out like, thank God that one's done, and we got through it, and I didn't make any mistakes, and now we've reached the last two songs. Now I can just have some fun. So you've made it that far. So I like our song called "Blame the Horse," and Pete plays a stand-up lap steel. Have you seen the band Larkin Poe?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I love like Tyler Bryan and the Shakedown and Larkin Poe. Like, I love all that. Yeah, I love that.
So Pete has a stand-up lap steel as well, so he gets to rock out on his stand-up lap steel on "Blame the Horse," and it looks super cool. So I love playing that song.
Fantastic.
No way.
I'd have to try to figure out a way to see you guys live sometime. Do you guys head over this way?
Whereabouts are you exactly?
Chicago.
I'm in Chicago.
I figured you were, yeah. That's the only thing I'm linked to on Instagram is Chicago pizza pie joints. That's all I have on Instagram. So I just scroll when I wake up, just looking at the depth of the pizza pies. I've never yet had a Chicago pizza pie, apart from the ones my girlfriend has made.
It's wall to wall Lou Malnati's. That is your Instagram.
Yeah, it is.
Segueing into our next question, which is perfect. Can you tell us a little bit more about making tracks and, what that was like? Like, give us an idea of that experience and that process.
Pete.
It starts with lockdown. I'll paint a picture, a COVID picture. We went down to proper lockdown in the UK. I know you did in the States in many places as well. But there was a time when it was like, you're not allowed outside for more than an hour. You're only allowed to go out once, and it's for an hour a day. That was it. And that was bad. And during that time, Dave and I are sort of coming up with all these ideas, and we're getting very excited about playing music, and we're spending a lot of time just texting and talking on FaceTime like everyone else did. And we're talking to each other every day. And then they said, well, you can meet now. It's the summer. You can meet up, but you can't go inside. You can't do anything inside. You can meet up in pairs, outside only. So Dave would drive down to my house and we'd sit in the garden, in the backyard, with two guitars and the dog and a ball, and we'd kick the ball and play guitar until my neighbours got pissed off and started shouting at us. And that's essentially how we wrote the whole album.
Yeah. That was it. And then and there's just little things. We've written some songs, and then we've got some buddies that are over in Long Beach in California. And I called up Trish. She's a great singer. I said, Trish, we'll send these tracks over. Can you just do your thing? Add some of that Pink Floyd kind of Great Gig in the Sky kind of vocals on it. And And then we found this girl that's a great fiddle player in Nashville. I said, can you put some real Appalachian fiddle on a couple of tracks? So just pulled together some of our buddies, and then the ex-studio engineer, David Evans, he's like the fourth member of the band. He just said, I'll take the tracks home with me and listen to them. Then he lays down all this great keyboard and piano, and he goes, what do you think? We went, you're in, it's done. Keep it on there. So it kind of grew over a few months, but it was the most pleasurable album I've ever worked on. It was just the best experience.
Beautiful.
Likewise.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
So we want to do it again. Next question.
Thank you for keeping me on track, Dave.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. So my question for you is, tell us a little bit about what's in the near future for the Outlaw Orchestra. Since things are getting kind of more relaxed with touring and stuff like that, like, and you just released the album, tell us what's in store for everybody.
We'll see what comes of what we've just done a tour with, as we said, Phil Campbell and his sons, otherwise known as the Bastard Sons. So that got us exposed, and a lot of people see us. So it'd be very nice in the UK if we actually got to jump on some tours with bands like Larkin Poe, or Blackberry Smoke, and things like that. When they come over, if they go, we'll have you guys. So it'd be nice to pick and choose a few good support slots. And as for us, we've got little fan bases all over the UK, and so we will continue going to those towns and having great fun with all our buddies up and down the country. Other than that, take some time off over Christmas and get a beer belly.
So I kind of have one last question for you. I kind of like to go off the cuff a little bit with my final questions, but I don't know if you can answer
Nervous.
it's a little risque. I don't know if you can answer it. Probably have to give me like PG-13 answers, but keeping in mind the band's name and everything, I was wondering, what is the most outlaw-esque thing that you guys have ever done?
As a band, I think I can probably say no. I can't. No, definitely can't. That was in Chaplin's, and I'll keep that one. That's a club. We'll keep that quiet. Right, Howard.
That is not a story we can share here.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. It'll sneak out. It involves the police anyway.
Oh.
But, and some fast talking to say we need that band member back because we've got to go back on stage. So please, can you unarrest him? but I can't go any further than that. I think we're very well behaved. I think we're polite. I think we're very good boys, and we always thank the sound man and all the stage crew. And we stay behind to chat to everybody because we're incredibly well behaved, and we don't live up to the outlaw image.
You couldn't say that with a straight face. Okay. All right.
Pete, you'd go along with that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I heard nothing, I saw nothing. We're good boys. I hear you. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. In the time that we have left, why don't you guys go ahead and give us an idea of all of your socials? Tell everybody where to find you, how to get a hold of like your music. Let us know what's up.
Sure. Well, you'll find us on the intraweb, theoutlaworchestra.com. Make sure you spell orchestra correctly, the proper spelling. I didn't spell it right once, and I signed a guy's leg cast. His leg was broken, and I signed it, and I spelled orchestra wrong. So, theoutlaworchestra.com. Facebook, The Outlaw Orchestra. What other social media is there? MySpace?
Instagram is still a thing. That's the Outlaw Orchestra as well. MySpace is long gone.
Oh, okay.
You guys have any TikToks yet?
I'm on TikTok, but I'm not very good at it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I suck at TikTok.
Spotify, everybody. Check them out on Spotify as well. Stream their music. You guys got any videos out yet?
We've got lots of
Loads of
videos which
videos.
are on YouTube. They're all on YouTube, all of our videos. The one to check out is Chicken Fried Snake, The Outlaw Orchestra. And it's a stop animation video.
Oh, I love stop animation.
Yeah, so it's called Chicken Fried Snake, and I did it, and I used, for you tech heads, 4 frames a second. It's terrible, but it's funny.
Well, I wanted to thank you guys so much for such a wonderful experience. I appreciate you. I really
It's
do.
been fabulous
I
talking
love
to you.
my jacket.
What was that?
My fashion.
Wrestling a raccoon in there.
Guys.
Okay, well, it's been absolutely fantastic talking to you. Thank you so much, and we look forward to sharing this and seeing ourselves on YouTube with you.
Fantastic. And my name is Roctavia Rose with Rock News UK, and I will see you guys all again soon. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right.